It only takes a small flame to light up the darkness, and sometimes just one story to illuminate a path. Welcome to Shmea, your little candle podcast, space where every voice matters, where every spark can make a difference. Sit back, listen, and let the light inspire you.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thank you so much. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Great. I'm super happy today to record this episode with you. And thank you very much once again for accepting to be the little candle of this episode.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
My pleasure. So, Lisa, can you please present yourself in any way you would like for the audience of Shmea, your little candle podcast?
For sure, I can do that. So, who am I? Yeah, that's a big question. So,
Indeed.
my name is Lisa. We got that already. So I am living in Germany. I am 42 years young.
Nice.
But I want to say, I think rather than calling me German, I would say I'm more of like an international or global person. Yeah. And why so? Because I've lived in 4 different countries outside of Germany. So the US, Australia, the Netherlands, as well as Canada. Currently, I'm in Germany. That is because I have 2 baby boys. Well, babies not anymore. They are 6 and 8 years old, so I cannot call them babies, but they are my babies.
In your eyes, they will be always babies.
Always,
Yeah.
And it's important to mention because I feel, other than my job, which I'm passionate about, family and friends are like such an important pillar in my life. Yeah. And I also feel I grew the most by becoming a mother. Yeah.
Wow.
But what else? So I'm a quite energetic person, I feel. Yeah. I love working out. I love being outdoors. I love spending time with friends and family. I love my job, and my job is, or has been in the last 18 years, majority of parts in people development, cultural, organizational transformation. So classically HR, but in different directions. Yeah. So always close to people. And I had this calling from the beginning. I would say I'm really a person, I love to go into my job on Monday morning. So I'm not a person who is like, oh, I have to work. Of course, there are these and these days. We all have them.
Of course.
But I think I made the right choice. Yeah. So I'm happy where I am.
Amazing.
And yeah, other than that, I'm just trying to figure out life, being a working mom, doing it all. Yeah. But I love it. And I love the challenge. I love the complexity and working close with people.
Oh, amazing. I'm super happy to hear you early in the morning with such an energy. I love that. On Friday.
On Friday, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Lisa. And I would love to go to the next question, but I just would like to send a big thank you to the person who connected us, because she is still one of the little candles in my life, and I am just super grateful for that. So imagine with me, Lisa, that we are together opening the book of your life until today. Okay. The 42 years book. Okay.
Yeah.
And we land on a key moment. What would be that moment and why?
Yeah. There are so many moments in 42 years, but I'd have to say, looking back and like what I felt always my calling was, it's potentially my first stay abroad. Yeah. So I come out of a big family. Like I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters, so 5 kids, which in Germany is a lot. I know not in all countries, but it's a large family for us in Germany. It's a large family. Yeah.
I was expecting 12 or something.
But in Germany, it's really random. Yeah. Most people have 1 or 2 kids. So,
okay.
But I always felt like, and maybe because my dad always used to travel a lot for work, he has always been my role model. And very early when we started in school to learn English and learn about the American dream, I was like, I want to go abroad sometime. And I did that when I was 16. So I moved to the United States and I went to high school in the US without my family. Yeah. So totally on my own, on a study abroad program.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, why would I choose this moment? Because in the end, it's a phase where you are like, you're 16. It's like such a special moment in your youth. Yeah. You start dating, like you start going to parties, you have a strong network with your friends. Yeah. So I had to get out of all of this and throw me into a completely unknown environment. Yeah. But I was so excited to do that because like I always wanted to go abroad. I'm fascinated of what's happening in other countries. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Opening my horizon. And yeah, so I did that. And I want to say, just to sum it up, it wasn't easy, but it was such an important moment that I think shaped of who I am today. Yeah.
Wow, I love that.
So I would choose this as, the first key moment that just popped into my head when you asked this question. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's very challenging. Even if you have that support or you lived in this with your father, as you said, but it's still a big jump to go from
Yes.
Europe to the US, different mindsets,
Yeah.
etc.
Different culture. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I strongly believe that it shapes the person we are, traveling or living in other countries and seeing other environments, especially in the diversity and open-mindedness.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
wonderful. Great. Again, I'm still in this life journey, and I wish you a long, long, long life journey full of joy. But as you know, wherever you are in your life, there are always ups and downs. Okay. Here, I would love us to talk about not a down, but a challenge. So, was there in your life a challenge that you consider very, very important, changed something for you, and you learned a lot from that challenge or this tough moment?
Mm-hmm.
And you can just, if it is confidential, we really respect, but the idea is we would like to learn from you your lessons that you keep with you till today.
Yeah. So I think it was also that moment that I just explained. And I tell you why. So I came from this big family. I also would say from a quite like safe environment. Yeah. So I don't want to say I was spoiled because my dad was a hardworking person and he made sure to teach us that, if we want to become someone, we need to be hardworking and dedicated. Yeah. So I think I'm quite ambitious, but still, it was a safe environment. We had enough money to go on vacation once or twice per year. So that is quite a safe environment. And then I went to the US, as I said, and I ended up with a single mom and her 7-year-old daughter, and the father just passed away the year before. And that's why she made the choice to take in an exchange student, so her daughter and she wouldn't be alone in the situation. To be honest, when I learned about that, because I work with an organization and they assign you to the families, right?
Yeah.
And when I learned about that, I was like, okay, let's see how this is. Yeah, I was a little bit afraid. Yeah, because I came out of a big family, a well-functioning family as well at that moment. But so in the beginning, I had my struggles, and then what happened is that I was a little bit envious of the kids that had these great typical American families. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is not what I want to have. Yeah. But what is the interesting turn is the first couple of months, I didn't feel so well. I'm like, okay, it's not 100% of what I have expected. It's really difficult for me because also, my host mom, she's such a hardworking person and she was so dedicated to make it right for her daughter, right? Because she lost her husband and the father respectively, which is awful in that age. She was 7.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but they were so strong. She worked several jobs and I was so impressed by that. And I was exposed to a situation that I haven't seen so much before, honestly. Yeah. But it taught me how strong this woman also was. And then the changing part in this was because I was a little bit of an unhappy phase. I mean, I was 16. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to have this experience. Yeah. But I learned quite quickly, and this was the change, that my coordinator of the organization, she had then a check-in conversation. They do check-in conversations how
Oh
you are
yeah.
doing as
Oh, of
and she
course.
came and visited me. Yeah, she visited me, like, I think I was 4 months into the experience. She visited me, and I asked her, I'm like, how, by the way, did you make this choice? And she's like,
Decision.
the decision of why I would be the one to go with this family and the others go
Uh-huh.
with others. And she's like, Lisa, when we met you and when we saw like the letters that others wrote about you as part of the application, we had the feeling you were exactly the right person for this family. We were
Oh.
positive that you can handle this, yes, very challenging situation. And I was struck, like, I was like, oh really? Because why? Like, I didn't have the confidence to say or see myself of why I would be that person. And now years later, and also after this experience, I get it. But I didn't get it back then. It was really hard. I was almost like, should I go back home? Should I ask to go into a different family? But I didn't. I did hang in the situation. Yeah.
Nice.
Because
That's
I wanted
great.
to support the family. Yeah.
Wonderful. And that's amazing. There is a human part of it. And
Yeah.
what I liked about what you say is that you kept courageous to continue while you are not comfortable, but you learned afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
wonderful. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Great.
Yeah.
And Lisa, I created Shmia, the Little Candle podcast, because I strongly believe, and this happened to me personally, that sometimes it doesn't take much, and all it takes is a phrase, a decision, a word from someone, just a candid moment with a person you know or you don't know, to bring a lot of light to your life. And it might be really short, and it can be considered as a turning point for you in life. In your life, what moment or who changed your path, let's say, or your way of seeing things, that you can consider as a little candle? And I am sure you have many.
Yeah, I want to say there are always like different situations. And
Definitely.
honestly, it would be so interesting to write a book. What if I turned left instead of right in that moment in my life
Oh,
where I
I love
ended
that.
up? Maybe I still need to do that. Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's exactly when I wanted to make that change or go back home, or to make that change to say it, I think it is what was my dad. I'm like a daddy's person. I was always very close with my father, and definitely my role model. Yeah. And he then said, he always encouraged me and said, you can do this. So he taught me also not to easily give up or get out of a situation, because he also believed that there is a chance in learning something out of the situation. But honestly,
Amazing.
when we are young, we don't see that. Like, it's like you don't see that immediately, right? You need someone else to maybe say that one sentence to you, like, you can do this. Hang in there. You can
Absolutely.
do this. And also, I'm here for you. It's like if you need that. Yeah. And when
Anything.
he said that, was the combination with the coordinator, like encouraging me that this is exactly the right thing for me. Yeah. Because sometimes we don't have it in ourselves. Of course, we learn. Yeah, over the years, we become
Of
more
course.
self-confident. We understand why certain things had to be like that. But I still would say this was my most difficult moment. And then just by my dad saying that in a very simple word, not explaining a lot, just saying that he believes in me and I can do it, I did it. Yeah. So
Bravo. Well
that
done.
helps.
Yes. And I'm super happy with your little candle, because it's just a sentence,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't consider the words. But I read a book recently, and there is a big chapter just about the power of words. You say it to yourself, but you say also to the others. And I'm happy because I believe in attraction law. And you're saying this, and it clicked because our brain is not that much intelligent, huh? We can play with it. And it believes you if you say you are just not about you, but if you tell your brain or your mind, I am good or I am not good enough. They will
Yes.
you choose. I mean, it's your choice. So I heard a lot of people close to me that were part of the podcast. They mentioned that something like that, and I'm super
Mm,
happy to throw you to reassure again and re-mention again that words, they have power, and
absolutely.
let's choose them carefully. Look
Absolutely. Every
who you
morning.
are now.
Yes.
Yeah,
And every morning you can make the choice of also thinking or critically reflecting what your mind does to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Positive self-talk is so important.
So important.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's amazing. Good. So, Lisa, the podcast is mainly uh, made for the young generations to give them some tips or some advices to, let's say, navigate life, not without any problems, because we want them to have problems, we want them to be challenged, etc., but at least
Yeah.
to share with them some tips so they can avoid some experiences
Mm,
based on the experiences of people who are more senior. So this is the main objective, but the audience is as well other people who are just struggling in life, because or not necessarily struggling, but just going with life, because the
mm,
statistics I see when I revise from time to time the podcast, I see that the age ranges are different. I have people from 17 to 70. So it's
wonderful.
and I love that. It
That's
means that
great.
it speaks to everyone, because we don't choose the right time where we are going through a hardship and when we need to listen to Lisa about this thing. And what I love about your experience of the US is that it might be two things: an encouraging push to a young lady who wants to experience this, but she is not really decided or comfortable enough, and for a parent as well,
Yeah.
to tell them,
Yeah.
guys, believe in your kid or woman, girl or boy, they will
Yes.
surprise you. Just give them the right education and the right empowerment. So it works for both sides. I love that.
Yes.
So if I take you back to your university studies or university period, and the beginning of your professional journey, what
Mm.
is one advice you would give to your younger self, and by this occasion, to the young people who are in this period in their lives?
Mm. So many. Okay.
Go ahead.
First of all, I know that for a lot of people and also for me, it's like the first step is like to make the decision of what you want to study or in which
Oh,
direction to go, which
yes,
is so
yes,
difficult because there is so
yes.
much interesting stuff out there. There are so many amazing, interesting jobs. How do I know what the right decision is?
Yeah.
What I would encourage the people to do is to not think this is like a life ending decision that sticks with you forever. Why
Uh,
so?
uh-huh.
So, for example, I studied international business, so quite broad, but international business, I was
Lovely.
always attracted to that. And
Uh-huh.
I then still took two more master degrees afterwards to dive deeper into areas that I then found interesting. So one was organizational strategy, yeah, and the other one was coaching and change management, yeah, because I was drawn to that. But I didn't know that in the beginning. But it's lifelong learning. It doesn't end with your degree, and you can always
Indeed.
do things on top. You will learn by just going and throwing yourself into the job to see whether it's yours or not. And especially in these days, like the opportunities are so, like there are so many opportunities, yeah,
Yes.
which is scary as much as it's exciting. So don't like stress yourself too much with the first decision you make in which direction you go, but of course be ambitious to then follow through. So don't drop off too early if you feel
Yeah.
it's difficult. So try to hang in there because things are not easy, yeah, to get a degree, for example. So
Definitely.
that's like the one thing. And the second I want to mention is also, and specifically in these days with AI now coming up, yeah,
Yeah.
use your time at university or when learning or in school to more on your competencies that you are working on, which is critical thinking, which is like seeing where do I get my sources from. Don't believe everything in social media, right? We have to learn to think critically, because that's what we really do. Yeah. And focus on that more than just the content that you are learning at university that you will later apply.
I love
so the
that.
competency set. So these two things I think are, I would say to myself.
Wonderful. That's really amazing, Lisa. Thank you very, very much, because you are touching uh, straightforward things that people will learn. I love these two advices, and I urge those who are listening to this episode to take that into consideration, because you are like saving a lot of time to these young to these people in all cases. Lisa, before closing, I would like to ask you a question. If your life experience, and you mentioned something earlier, but I'm not sure if this will be the same thing or not, but I love it. If your life experience were a book, a movie, or a song, what would its title be?
Oh my! Oh yeah, that's creativity under pressure. I mean,
I know you can do it.
But you know, the funny portion is I immediately have to think about the movie Vaiana. I don't know whether you know it. It's like
yes.
yeah, and she
it.
receives like this calling from the ocean.
Uh-huh.
And for me, I felt very early, it would be like the calling from abroad or something, because I always was like, what is this world about? Yeah, so let's call it the calling from abroad. I know it's not very fancy, but I'm not good.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I hope just this calling will push you to start writing this book.
I really should, Fatima. Thank you. I should.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Lisa. I really enjoyed our conversation. It's huge, amazing, full of advices, full of sense, and I'm sure those who will listen will learn from it. I tell you, and I send you big greetings and hug from Rabat, sunny Rabat. I don't know what
Thank you.
what is it in Germany, and I hope to see you face to face anytime soon. Thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and I would love to meet you in person at some point. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. My pleasure. Thank you very much, Lisa.
A single light can spark 1,000 others, and maybe this one will be part of it. Thank you, our Shmi'a of today's episode, for sharing this moment, for your words, and for the spark you brought to life today. And you, dear Shmi'a listeners, if this story touched you, consider sharing it, because you never know who might need a small glimmer of hope today. Take care, and see you soon for another spark.